Welcome back, everyone. It is episode 18 of Beastern Boy Sports Talk with Marcus and Silas. Great Friday episode for you. It's kickoff super wildcard weekend.
Super biggest one ever.
Yeah, we'll overview first with coach firings, all of that, what went down. Mm-hmm. Then we go on to this weekend's games. Also discuss we might do a punishment. We'll actually record our stats, and then
we're gonna pick winners throughout the playoffs, and then maybe let you guys pick what the loser has to do.
Yeah, and then we'll wrap it up with NBA talk, a little stuff around the league, because we, as football is wrapping up, we obviously want to get more involved with NBA and get the audience who really likes NBA involved.
For sure. And stories unfolding, and we're getting close to the All-Star break, so we've always talked about trade talks and
every year.
It's been an interesting week.
Yeah. So Coach
firings. Black Monday?
Yeah, Black Monday. I think we talked about Joe Judge.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot. So we talked about a touch.
Yeah.
It's funny that teams wait, to me at least. It's pretty comical. It's like the whole Seahawks thing. It's like if Pete Carroll's leaving and he's still there, it's a joke to me.
Yeah, didn't he have a meeting?
Yeah, and there's no outcome. They have I think at this point you have to announce he's still our coach because the expectation is he's gone.
I haven't heard any talks at all. I haven't heard
either. I just want
it's all been cold.
Dan Quinn so bad.
I don't know. I would rather trust him as
a DC, but he's not coming to Seattle to be defensive coordinator.
No.
I guess the two ones that didn't happen were Joe Judge and David Coley.
Yeah, Twitter and everyone was outrageous by the David Coley firing, but I'll be honest, not a lot of people watched the Texans games. But
and when they were, it was...
He made some questionable plays a lot this year. He made some questionable coaching decisions.
For sure.
But at the same time, no one wanted this job. No one wanted this job at all. It looked like a week before training camp. Like OTAs where they're like, okay, we finally got a head coach, basically.
Yeah.
Because it was just a place where you knew you were going to get fired next year. You just knew.
There has to be, and we've talked about this off air, but there has to be some sort of precedent. Just like with, obviously the Brian Flores thing is a different story, and we talked about that and how, I actually think it's absurd. But Joe Judge, same. he went 10-23, but at some point, it doesn't help you to fire your coach. We've tried to say that. At some point, you have to build culture. It's always talked about.
Unless you see the culture going worse,
unless the culture is going downhill. Yes. So the culture is going downhill. I wouldn't wait. But if not, is there really a reason to give up on a guy after 2 years?
Well, I wanted to know how did the players respect? How did they like David Coley? I didn't hear everything.
I know that they're not fans of the president of the team. They're not fans of the GM. They traded away J.J. Watt and DeAndre Hopkins for a bag of chips and a first-round pick.
Well, then they fired
not
the
even.
GM.
They didn't even get a first-round
head coach.
Yeah.
Did you hear? He's favorite to get the Jags job.
Yes. Because he was Bill O'Brien.
How?
Because you know what? Urban Meyer's a genius, first of all, to take an NFL coach, turn him into an OC, and get him a head coaching job again.
Yeah.
Genius. And the amount of knowledge any NFL head coach has is exactly what an Alabama wants as your OC.
Yeah.
Which is not fun for the rest of the culture. Well, unless you're Georgia. Oh yeah, congrats. We don't talk a lot of college football, especially now that our season's over. It's the only team we're fans of. But congrats, Georgia. Great win.
That was such a fun game.
Such a fun game, and it's really, really fun when Alabama games are competitive. And it's really fun when you watch Alabama get out-coached, out-played, out-passed, and out-ran. You don't see that.
It's crazy. That defense is insane.
Georgia defense has 6 or 7 NFL starters. It'll be starting on teams next year.
Yeah.
It's so talented.
That Bryce Young's just going to get better.
Yeah.
He's going to be so good.
Next year's going to be super cool. But just to jump back, I figure we touch on it because we don't talk college football here. So we do in the Eastern season. But
yeah. Joe Judge threw a killer party. Killer party after he got fired. Maybe he changed his mentality. I thought he was just a total hard ass, making his team run after fights. But maybe he's like, hey, I'm a little bit laid back. I know how to have a good time, guys.
For those of you guys who don't know, he literally ordered
6 30 racks.
6 30 racks of Coors and 10 boxes of pizza and had a party after he got fired, strictly because they're going to pay him $5 million a year for the last 3 years. And if he gets another job, if they don't pay him, talk about this with you, if they don't pay him $5 million a season, the Giants have to pay the difference.
Yeah.
So that's a happy man who's going to...
He's like, all right, I get money, but maybe he's reinventing himself now. Maybe,
Yeah.
he's transitioning, and when he gets a next probably coaching job.
Yeah, you know something I was just thinking about, and obviously one of them isn't as fun of a story, but Urban Meyer's I think it was a roller coaster. You have to say it was a semi-fun story to follow.
Oh my gosh, I'm not a Jags fan, so it was just so entertaining.
It's entertaining, not fun. It wasn't fun because there was some bad things happen, but between John Gruden and Urban Meyer, it's pretty rare you see two coaches that are fired that I can guarantee will never coach in the NFL again. Yeah. It's guaranteed.
Oh, guaranteed.
He won't be an offensive coordinator because it's Urban Meyer. I mean, he's won natties. He's not going to go be.
No, he has too much of an ego.
He does
too much
to have someone else tell him what to do. But I think I don't know if we've ever seen that happen. Where I can for sure say two guys will never coach again.
Yeah.
And two or three more likely will go back to their coordinator. Yeah. Joe Judge should just really head back to New England and be a special teams coordinator.
Where do you think Miami ex-head coach
Brian Flores?
Yeah, Brian Flores.
I mean, the Giants' job is big, and Brian Flores is probably the best coach who got fired. I don't think that's even a semi-hot take.
He's the hottest candidate,
yes.
I feel like, right now.
Yeah. I mean, there's some guys we talked about, like Mike Zimmer, and people that took... Or, I don't know, there are people that... I mean, I know he's not the greatest coach, but, I wouldn't mind Zimmer. Matt Nagy is someone... Matt Nagy and Vic Fangio are people that are you should be a coordinator, and if you're a head coach, it's strictly because so many were fired that some are going to have to just swap teams, but...
Yeah.
I think New York, strictly because big market, and they don't mess around, and that team is poverty. It's a poverty franchise at the moment, so...
I mean, they're getting both New York teams are getting sued.
Yeah.
They're in Jersey.
Yeah, they're in New Jersey, and they're not allowed to say... you can't pay your players out of Jersey, you have your facility in Jersey, you have your stadium in Jersey, and be a New York team. I think it'd be pretty fun if we see the New Jersey Jets. That rhymes.
That
sounds amazing.
Better.
But the New Jersey Giants, too, that's not bad.
No.
I think it's funny. I hope that they lose that.
I think he might go to Chicago, just big market.
I think it's big market, though, because he's someone who can come in.
And it's not as... They're going to get a whole new GM and everything.
Yeah. It's like a whole clean out, basically.
Yeah. I could see the Bears for sure, but I think Bears almost need a more offensive-minded head coach, I feel like.
For sure.
Especially with that Justin Fields.
If they focus defensively... They better sell that franchise. You can't have a young quarterback who had a iffy first year, to say it kind of.
No progress. I felt.
No progress. I felt like we always talk about the first games. There's no expectations. You could throw 5 picks, dude. The first game in the NFL, I have no expectations. But his first game and his 14th start, because he sat out at least 4 games or got injured, not sat out, were way too similar. And we're going to do some film breakdowns and stuff over the offseason to figure out how we can do that without getting copyrighted, but. That's someone that Justin Fields is someone I would love to break down and actually watch the film and see what he's doing wrong. Is it missed passes? Is it timing? Is it zones confusing him that he never saw at Ohio State when he had 8 seconds to throw? Because there's something. There's something and Trevor Lawrence, that's another one. I was watching a lot of Trevor film, but it's really, really, really interesting showing how a lot of it's the free Trevor video I sent you. A lot of it is Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
So I want to see if it's how terrible that coaching staff is. Or if it's partially just actually Justin Fields is not that good.
Yeah, because, watching, the Steeler game, he looked good.
Yeah, there's games like that where I was like, this dude's calling slight audibles, he's, checking things at the line. I feel like some young quarterbacks, dude, just go out there and wing it. I feel like when Zach Wilson, I've never seen the dude call an audible in my life. So.
But, yeah, think about any other coaching firings,
No, other than this will unfold. We'll start seeing people being hired, and that's really when it'll become a full topic. But we did, it's not very often you see 8 coaching positions wide open. 8 head coaching positions open. So
so let's get into the Super Wildcard weekend. So for this playoff thing, we're not going to do 5 best bets. We are going to pick either favorite, underdog, over, or under.
We're going to do it for every game.
Every game, because it's less games we have to watch.
And they're all important.
Yeah, and then whoever has the worst record, we're going to actually keep them in track. Whoever has the worst record has to do a punishment. You guys we'll probably have a Twitter by then, and you guys can...
Have to be you can't watch the Super Bowl till after?
You can't watch week 1 or something.
Yeah, something like that. Or
without hurt.
You have to know the winner of every game before you watch any games.
Or a physical
punishment. No red zone. No red zone for week 1. Because dude, I would have withdrawals.
That would be the worst. But come up with ideas. I think that would be super fun and keep the audience engaged.
For sure. And now that we're on video,
and video
up on the YouTube.
Yeah,
so
and we have
kind of funny.
We have content we're gonna finally pump out. I think would be really, really awesome.
Yeah.
So let's get on to the Saturday games. Raiders at Bengals. Bengals are favored 5.5, and total points is 48.5.
Yeah, I think the big story is how healthy is Waller going to be, because they're hot right now, but forcing the ball to Waller has never worked. I mean, when he was at his best, when he was an unknown guy, when it was like, why was this dude a 5th round draft pick in my fantasy, and he's now the 2nd tight end in football?
Yeah.
But when it's like Derek Carr goes hike, De'Aaron Waller, has your slant route worked yet? It's like he needs to go through his. I know that's not the whole story, but if he's not going to go through his reads in a football game, this is going to get sloppy.
Yeah.
This is going to go bad real quick, but...
I mean, Bengals, I saw something, they haven't won, no one in the world, a Bengals fan, has never texted.
The last time they won a playoff game, the text wasn't invented for another 9.5 months.
Yeah.
So no one's ever sent a text saying the Bengals won.
That's hurtful.
That's sad.
That is so
they also
hurtful.
are the only team without an indoor practice facility, and they're in Ohio. So do with that information what you please. But
yeah. I mean,
predictions,
it kind of shows all year like Raiders just stick with teams except for the Chiefs. Like they just stick with them,
and their losses are always close.
It is always like 2 or 3 points, but
that's playoffs.
I'm gonna take Bengals. I'm gonna take Bengals 5.5.
Yeah, you wanna keep track?
Yep.
Both, just like an M and an S. I don't like it because they're not winning, but I'm taking Raiders. I think like Zach, what you think. I think that it's going to be a 10-point game towards the end, and the Raiders score, and then it's Joe Mixon time for a quarter and a half. But
yeah,
over under 48.5.
Yeah. We don't have to do the points, but I mean, they're 2 high-scoring offenses. Honestly, no matter like Bengals are just so high-scoring, but then Raiders are like, all right, we'll match you again. Hunter Renfro will go crazy. I would take the over if I were you guys.
Yeah, 48.5. People, and like, have you ever heard of the Patriot effect in sports gambling? It's like one of my favorite stories, and it's something I've told people before that don't understand sports gambling a whole lot. It's like basically Vegas, especially, but any legal sports betting market, every Patriot Super Bowl, Vegas makes the minus more than it should be. So it's very like. It's called it happens every year. Like we like Chiefs. People like betting on the Chiefs. So instead of the spread being Chiefs -7, they'll make it Chiefs -8 or 9, and they purposely are actually altering a spread strictly because people come in and dump money. So it's something we see. So same as like this in the playoffs, all of these overs are going to move up a point or 2. So it's not a bad idea to take the under, but same thing you're saying. It's like it's hard to think that both teams aren't going to score 3 touchdowns. Yeah. One of them's going to have to score 4 because it ain't going to tie.
Yeah, who's guarding Jamar Chase? All of their quarterbacks are in prison, dude. Like,
literally,
they're all DUIs or in prison.
Who's guarding T. Higgins? And then if you throw if we see someone shadow him for the whole game, who's guarding T. Higgins? Who's guarding Boyd? Then what? Are you gonna not have an extra linebacker on Mixon? There's no good alternative. I think if they win this game, my prediction I think that they could be in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
How they win this matters.
Yes. Next game, New England at Bills. Bills are favored 4.5, and the total points is 44. Also, it's like the highest is supposed to be like -4 or something.
Yeah, so it's going to be 5, but the feel is anywhere from -10 to -5. That's why the tickets are $40 for a playoff game. Seriously, people literally don't want to go.
No,
but. I think it's just to preface it, because I know not everyone watches all 190 whatever football games a year.
Yeah.
We're the slim few, but they played each other twice. They're in the same division. They split games. The one that the Patriots won, they threw the ball 3 times because it was cold and wet and windy, and like field goals.
It was like the worst.
It's like
weather.
Some of the worst weather ever. It's similar to the Alabama-Georgia when they played each other twice in the same year, but this is 3rd time. It's like a tiebreaker. So I think it's so cool. I'm taking Bills 4.5 and all day. I think I'd take it at 7. I think this is where we see the Bills come out red hot. We see Josh Allen clicking. We see Stephon Diggs. Something that irritates me that he does is, everyone does this, I can't really be upset, but he sits out a lot of downs, and I love playoffs. Your rotations become so small. Like
it's like they all are playing.
They all are playing. It's like in the NBA, your rotation goes from 9 to 6.
Yeah.
And the playoffs come around, you get one guy that's you're swapping out with. So
I told Marcus.
We'll get some news at the end of the story. Let's not.
But I told Marcus this. He got really mad at me. I'm taking Pats 4.5. I think they're gonna win. I keep thinking Bills versus the Jets like last week. They
look so sloppy.
They look so sloppy, and they kept they shanked like 4 straight punts. It's just Jets are so bad they couldn't do anything.
And if that was even a semi-good team,
if you give Bill Belichick the ball at the 40, he's going to milk that clock and kick a field goal.
Which is how Patriots football.
And I'm gonna say it, hot take. I don't think this Bills team is built for the cold.
They're not. You know who I also don't think can throw a football in the cold? Mackenzie Jones, Mac Jones. Like
I don't know. They didn't really give him the opportunity.
No, I get that, but
I don't know. I think it's going to be a lot different. And I just see Pats all over this. I don't know why. I just see Pats all over this.
I see Bills what's the over? 44. I think the Bills win 35-21 or 35-14.
Yeah.
I think it's a very dumb. But this is the game to watch. I think it's also fun that we've disagreed on the first two because we agree all the time. So
yeah,
I think that's pretty fun to start off.
Okay, this is going to be really hard disagreeing on this one. Eagles at Bucks on Sunday. Bucks are favored.
We didn't do over under
8.5. Oh yeah, over under. I would probably take the over.
I'm going weird. I'm going against what I just said and taking the under strictly because of the cold. Yeah. It's not going to be a 3. I can promise you if you watch it, there's not going to be 3 passes from the Patriots. There's going to be 25. Yeah. But if and when it gets bad cold, and it is, if it's the third quarter, dude, and it's a 10-10 game, it's very possible that's what we see. So yeah. I'm taking under. You taking over?
Yeah.
It's low.
Yeah, and then starting the Sunday game slate is Eagles at Bucks. Bucks are favored at 8.5, and the total points is 45.5.
Is there any chance that Eagles come in and play spoiler? Is there any, or that they put up a fight?
I think back to last year where Bucks played a football team. They played a football team, and it was a crazy close game. It was 5 points behind. They lost by 5 or something. And Bucks are beaten up. They are really beaten up. I think
you're missing a lot of guys.
But I think that some Shaq Barrett is coming back.
People are coming back, and it's awesome to see. But AB's obviously
they're obviously older.
Godwin's out for the year. Those two alone are the two of them. Mike Evans in the playoffs are the only 3 receivers you're seeing from them. So having 2 of those, one may not be on the team, one torn ACL from a dirty hit.
So maybe hammer a prop Gronk over 100 receiving yards.
I would say, I think Gronk put it over 80 with a touchdown and tell me the odds are.
Yeah.
And then also I think Mike Evans, I would do over 6 catches. It's probably over under 3.
Yeah.
He loves Mike Evans. I'm a Michael Thomas fan, but he's big slant boy. Michael Thomas is the only reason Cooper Kupp will never touch that record because the Rams don't run enough slants or screen passes. But Mike Evans he runs a beautiful slant, and Tom Brady loves that as not even a check down, but
just such a big receiver.
Just such a big receiver, and if the ball gets here, it's coming in, and then he's hard to bring down. So it's quick. It's quick. It's free yards, is what I think.
Yeah. I would still take Bucks.
8.5 is a lot. I don't like it, but I'm going to take it. I just think that it could get sloppy, in my opinion. It's a 9-8 team playing a 13-4 team. That's not a good matchup.
Yeah.
It's not ideal. The Eagles, if the Eagles can run the ball well, though, then I'm going to have to eat my words, and they might cover. It's really possible just because of time.
Actually, no. I'm not going to take the favorite. I'm actually going to take the over for this game. I'm going to take the over for it.
I'm taking Bucks and over.
All right. It's just too high-powered offense. Tom Brady just goes in the end zone every time. Next game, I think this is going to be one of the best games.
It's the game of the week.
Game of the week.
Except for Monday night, but
yeah,
it's a coin flip.
49ers at Cowboys.
Cowboys are frauds. I'm just throwing it out there.
I've been saying it for a couple weeks.
We've been saying it for weeks. They only win in the worst division in football with coaches being fired. Taylor Heineke is But the division is so terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
11-1 football team, right?
Oh yeah.
Yes, half of their wins came from
the weakest division, not just this year, but like for 4 years. I mean, the Seahawks. I'm not to play victim, but the Seahawks are in the hardest division where all three teams, like the Seahawks, if they didn't lose, they go on that 3-game losing stretch without Wilson. They literally could have 3 9-win teams that are all fighting for a wild card. Like, that's how good the division is. And I only am saying 9-win because you have to lose some games, but when you can not lose a divisional game, it's so difficult.
Yeah.
That money line's nice too. $1.40.
Yeah, Cowboys are favored -3, and the total points is 51. I'm picking 49ers all the way. I don't know about you, but
I'm gonna take that under though. 51's too high for me. And I don't know. I've
are you taking points or
points?
Okay.
Yeah, +3 all day. +3 money line and under.
Yeah, I think 49ers. They're getting hot at the right time. I know Cowboys been dropping 51 points against football team and a JV Eagles team. I'm sorry, I don't see any of that. 49ers were scratching for the playoffs. They're finally in. And if Jimmy G has just a safe game, they go beat the Cowboys.
I prefer Trey Lance starting, but
yeah, but I mean,
if Jimmy G's healthy. So.
Yeah, I mean Jimmy G's just a winner.
Ooh, Jimmy Garoppolo and Trent Williams is big left to right tackle, both off of the injury report.
Okay.
So meaning there's 0 injury and they're likely not even rehabbing. That's big news though.
Yeah,
that means he's not playing through an injury because he would still be on it today if he was.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then I guess who is even going to watch this game? I mean, one last ride. Steelers at Chiefs. Big Ben. Did you? Okay. There was a press conference for Big Ben, and he basically just said he's so tired. He's so tired of football.
I think
he's so tired. He basically just
said that
we really shouldn't be here. But let's go.
Was that Najee Harris tweet real?
Yeah,
are you serious?
He deleted it. I don't
want to grab my phone because we put him over there, but the tweet, what was it? Like, give me a paraphrase.
He screenshots it and he says he does a caption. I can't say that one.
Yeah,
but he was like, "What, dude?" He was like, "What do you mean?" It just feels like Big Ben just totally he's like giving up. He totally gave up.
And you want to know what's sad to me, and a lot of guys don't want to happen, is when the fans tell you you're retiring. Yeah. Big Ben never said it.
No.
Ben Roethlisberger never ever said I'm retiring.
There's a week where he's like, "Yeah, this is probably my last game."
Yeah.
He's like, honestly.
I think that it was when he. I don't even remember what week it was, but this team has no business being in the playoffs. Like, I would have rather seen the Chargers, but you got to win football games to make it in there. But this Steelers team it's one last ride. It's exactly what you said. There's nothing.
Big Ben, one last chance, one last game. Let's enjoy it. They did
beat the Titans though, who have a first round bye. So
yeah,
the Titans and Ravens.
When was that? But that was Derrick Henry list, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which does matter because
it makes
a little preview. Are we doing Super Bowl predictions right today?
Yeah.
Tell us at least
why not?
Winners. Okay, let's do it.
But yeah, Chiefs are favored 12.5.
I kind of. That's a lot, dude. Except for the Chiefs can score. Okay, people don't understand this too. That coaches and the smart ones at that, I'm sure that Urban Meyer and so on, Vic Fangio aren't saving their place for the playoffs. But these smart teams, the Patriots of the world, the Chiefs of the world, the Cowboys of the world, who are run by good coaches, the Rams, they keep plays for the playoffs. That is a thing. There's parts of the playbook that Belichick literally won't use to keep for playoff games. They played the Bills twice, so there's plays where he's like, okay, we could mess this up. Then they have that, and they have it on film, and then we're not going to run it because they're going to see what's happening. So, take the points. 12.5 is fine.
Yeah,
if it goes to 14, I'm not taking it. You would take it at 14? I think 2 touchdowns. It just would worry me that it would push, and I don't like pushing.
Yeah, no.
Just because I see it'll move from 13 to 13.5 in the next 72 hours.
Yeah. But I'll take Chiefs minus 12.5. It's just Big Ben was right. It's just sad to see. They have no business being here.
Yeah, it's to me the saddest part though is that he's gonna go. He's gonna go out with a bad, sad loss by double-digit plus.
What's his over touchdowns?
It's probably 0.5.
One last touchdown to.
I might. Yeah, I'm not a betting man at the moment, but I might. I wouldn't mind Big Ben a 0.5 touchdown.
Yeah.
That's so funny. So, 1.5, but the over is plus 160. Mahomes' is over is plus 150 for 2.5.
Yeah. I mean, there's no Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's also the most average running back.
Here's a fun prop bet. Plus 500 if Big Ben gets 2 and Mahomes gets 3 touchdowns. So if you're a big fan of that over and you could see this being a shootout, all I know is if they're losing, they're going to try to have Ben score some touchdowns. Not try, and I don't mean like they're not going to go out of their way.
But come on.
They're going to throw a slant route instead of Najee Harris halfback dive.
Yeah.
So $10 wins you 60 on that though.
Yeah. Total 46 total points. I'll take because I feel like they're gonna kick them like early and then.
I think it's gonna be like we're 3 drives, 3 touchdowns from like the Chiefs. Offense.
Yeah, and then
obviously it slows
Big
down.
Ben. Why isn't there a prop of Big Ben tripping over himself? There should be. I say 2.5.
Yeah.
From
see, I think it's gonna be. It's gonna be sad though. I just think. I mean, I hate to say I could eat my words if they come out and win. There is a 0% chance that
one more game.
I would be so happy.
One more game.
I'd be so excited for them, but this is one where I'm like, there's pretty little story other than like how red hot are the Chiefs gonna be in the playoffs because they started off slow. Mahomes not good. Should he never have been talked about as the best court? I mean, every single story was mentioned.
Yeah. I just think Chiefs playoffs is dangerous.
Yeah.
And let's just move on to the game we wish we got to go to.
I know.
We're trying hard, but
stupid Monday night Wildcard. That's a new thing.
Yeah, which stupid.
It's awesome for me because like after school on a Monday after.
We don't even have school.
Oh,
I know.
Amazing weekend. Immaculate vibes all weekend. Like,
yeah. Cardinals at Rams. Rams are favored 4, and total points is 49.5.
I want you to go first on this one. I think I've gone first, and I'm still my brain's going like this. No, you're wrong. Yeah, you're right. Like
JJ Watt might be playing.
I think that if he plays, it's the difference in me taking Arizona. It seriously is. Like I don't think Arizona's that good. Not that they're not. I don't think that they're like NFC Championship good, but the impact is when's DeAndre Hopkins coming back?
I
got it.
He might be back.
Because if
a Ramsey
won't return this week, so that's people don't understand. Football's a team sport, but if you have DeAndre Hopkins and JJ Watt back, I was going to pick him. I'm going Rams.
Yeah.
4 is super low too.
I mean Odell's looking better and better each week.
Every week, status.
Von Miller's getting sacks, dude. They're finally meshing in well together. Except, how well is Matthew Stafford going to play? I think that's. At the end of the day, it's 2 inexperienced quarterbacks in the playoffs right now.
The question: if Stafford comes out and sucks and throws 3 picks and 1 touchdown, and Kyler plays like amazing, I mean, what's the offseason?
This is the first playoffs Kyler ever been to.
Yeah.
So, So I mean, he could.
I mean, I'm not gonna I don't want to pray on this dude's downfall, but NFL playoffs, it's different football, dude. Like So.
It's very different.
JJ Watt is trending towards returning, and then the update today was status uncertain.
Okay.
So, to me, it's never good when you go back.
Yeah.
Like when you go from you might be playing to no, but.
Yeah, I gotta pick Rams 4.5.
Okay.
I feel like
that's when I really could agree with you.
The team in general is just gelling better and better. It just all depends on that quarterback. If he throws 2 interceptions, they're fucked, dude.
Yeah.
They can't win. They will not be able to.
It's something we've been talking about since this didn't start in the beginning. Like he had it.
No, he was MVP.
He was MVP Matthew Stafford, and then all of a sudden it was like, dude, you're averaging 3 picks a game.
It was literally after that 49er game.
Yeah.
The embarrassing loss.
The embarrassing one with
what? You have Odell and all this.
Yeah. You're right though, Von Miller and Odell both really getting in their groove. To me at least is the difference between them winning and losing a football
game. And then you literally have Triple Crown, Cooper Kupp.
And then you have Aaron Donald you have to double team or he's going to get 3 sacks in the game.
Yeah. And then okay.
And Jalen Ramsey. It's LA sports fans. don't take it for granted. You guys are all so lucky with your double teams in every sport.
You need to like it.
I think that they need to. Yeah, having them back is really big, and OBJ is. You can't not focus on him. So, and then you have the Triple Crown on the other side. Eastern legend. I saw him and Kendrick Bourne tagging each other at Eastern football.
Yeah.
So they played for 2 years a year at the same year.
Really?
You know how scary that would be, dude? You're like Montana or Idaho State's defensive coordinator, and you have a fourth round pick and a fifth or sixth round pick who both now are starters, who both now are very good. Like starting for the Patriots as a wide receiver is a very honorable job that is not easy to do, and then getting a Triple Crown is legendary.
I think I've already said it on this podcast before, but I just remember that draft where my dad was like, "There's this guy named Juju Smith-Schuster. I really want to get him." And
he's a Rams fan, correct?
Yeah, and Steelers picked him up. They're literally right in front of the Rams. And then it was Cooper Kupp, and my dad goes, "Who is this guy?"
and little did we know, we try to I feel like we've done a decent job, at least. I don't know if you guys feel this way, but being unbiased. You're a Packers fan, but when we're not talking Packers, you're not biased. You're not like, oh, I hate the Bears. They're going to lose every week. But
no, it's sure fun getting 2 easy wins.
Yeah, no, I know. That's really, really funny. That's what I saw a Packers fan at the Bears game, and they said that they're from Green Bay, Wisconsin. His wife's from Chicago, and they're in Seattle for the weekend. And I quote, "We wanted to watch Chicago lose 3 times in a year," and then of course, didn't happen like that. So,
sorry, a little sad. But okay, yeah, back to this game. Rams -4. That's what I'm taking
all day.
Yeah. You too?
Yep.
Points 49.5. I feel like they're gonna.
It's a hard one. It's just
playoff, and they're gonna try to establish the run.
Like. That's exactly why I think.
If Matthew Stafford starts throwing some dumb plays, they're gonna be like, all right, we're gonna run this ball with Sony Michel and Cam Akers, So, I'll take the under. I'm a psychopath.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do we at least want to do? I think it's a little too hard, and obviously, we could, but I think it's too hard to try to paint the picture all the way across right now without a bracket up.
Yeah.
But do you want to do who your 2 teams are for the Super Bowl?
Yeah, they're number 1 in each conference for a reason. I think it's Tennessee and
I feel stupid saying it because it's like in March Madness when you're
It is weird to wrap my head around Ryan Tannehill in a Super Bowl
against Aaron Rodgers, this skill gap, but man, my joke I was gonna say it's not even funny,
coaching,
but it's
dude.
It's like when you do your March Madness bracket and you end with 4 number 1s, you got to start over because that never happens. But first round bye is so important, and I want to say 7 out of 10 years, one of the 2 is the first round bye team. It's pretty rare that either one or both of the Super Bowl teams didn't get a first round bye. So
it's just how dominant Titans
we're not
are.
agreeing. It's very that's surprising.
Yeah,
we both think it's. Dude, who do you have winning? Because what happens if Derrick Henry's running for 200 a game and that ankle is just
I've already.
have you thought about that?
So I've already been envisioning this Super Bowl with these 2 teams.
Where Derrick Henry,
without me thinking about NFC Championship game of us missing the game-winning kick with Mason crossbar, that's already haunting me already. But I'm also thinking about
you guys really struggle in the NFC. I mean, Seahawks, dude, since I've been a football fan, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful or dick, but since I've become a football fan, Aaron Rodgers you got to remember, Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers got the same amount of rings on their left finger. So Aaron's been in the league for much longer and has made NFC Championship, I think, 6 times.
And we actually finally have a top 5 defense.
That's the big thing. There's no excuse.
No.
And Aaron should be the double MVP. He should win it back-to-back years. And when I say should, can we just preface, Cooper Kupp should win the MVP, and they should change the award to the quarterback's award if we're not going to give it to a dude who's breaking records. But whatever. If it's a quarterback's award, it's going to Aaron. Yeah. So, which makes me...
And there's also a statistic, no quarterback, no MVP has won a Super Bowl since Kurt Warner. That's been years, dude. That's 21 years.
It's interesting, though. That's super, super interesting.
So why do I
break the curse, or do I like just not? Because I want to pick a winner.
Yeah.
I want to see what you say though, because you're a Packers fan, so obviously I know.
And
what
I
he's gonna
have
say, but-
back to my nightmares. I also have a nightmare that like Derrick Henry runs for 200, like he breaks Super Bowl rushing record.
And AJ Brown and Julio both go for like 55 because that's all they're gonna need.
Yeah.
Like, that's my. It's not even my worry because I really could care less. I just want a great playoffs. Like it's pretty fun. I'm not
But
gonna lie.
I pick Packers.
Pick? Okay, I'm picking Titans. I think the Titans are your Super Bowl. I literally think if Derrick Henry's foot works, hot take. When they play next week, because they don't play this week because they earned that first round bye, I think he has 200 yards. Yeah. What's the single game playoff rushing record? I think it's like 2 something probably.
It was something against the Packers. All right.
Really?
It's probably, dude. I remember
285 yards. It was in 1986. Eric Dickerson is a Cowboys legend.
Yeah, never mind.
248. Wow.
Eric Dickerson. No. That Ram.
Oh, I'm stupid.
Yeah, against the Cowboys.
Against the Cowboys. Oh my God, Raheem Mostert is 2.
Yeah, against.
What is that? Derrick Henry's 3 with 195.
That.
Can we talk about Derrick Henry's on this list 3 times?
Dude.
195, 185. Le'Veon Bell's on it 3 times. That's pretty impressive for a short-term NFL. Not short, but
so awesome.
Dude, that Steelers team, like. It's so crazy how like AB's out of the league. Le'Veon Bell is like a 3rd string in Tampa. Is it Tampa? Is that where he is right now?
Yeah, Tampa.
Yeah, it's so funny how they went from both of them being asked to get paid the highest to both of them dramatically leaving to both of them essentially being irrelevant NFL players outside of Antonio Brown making a scene.
Yeah. I don't know how that team actually functioned.
Yeah.
I think Tomlin's easily Hall of Fame now. in my
Yeah. Should we jump into touch on basketball for a minute? Or you can give a quick little.
Yeah.
I at least have something I want to talk about.
Hornets.
I just want to bring up Clay.
Yeah, Clay.
Go ahead. I want to paint a picture between a torn Achilles and a torn ACL. He's one of my favorite players in the NBA, and just a well-loved player. Like I don't think like people hate Steph Curry. I don't think I've met a Klay Thompson hater in my life. Like I've never had someone be like
only teams when he torches us.
Yeah, it's like Cavs fans when he's dropping 40 on you on 2 dribbles. It's like what?
Yeah, you're like,
or when he scored 44 in 3 quarters and didn't play the 4th quarter, and I was like, that dude could have dropped a 60 piece. Like he was on track to drop a 60 piece on basically. But Klay Thompson torn ACL, torn Achilles, back-to-back years, 900 or was it 800 something days he didn't play basketball. Arguably a top 5 shooter of all time, non-arguably a top 10 shooter of all time for you old heads who want to bring up. But he's back. Steph Curry's on a season low shooting slump. He actually went from averaging 31 points all the way down to 26 in the span of 6 games. And I went to watch him play in person, but he scored 12 points. Did not pay that money to go to a Mavs game. I mean, obviously I got to see Dirk's retirement party, which was awesome because he's a legend, but there's something off, and I can't figure out what it is. They're just not going in. I mean, I'm going to pull up.
It's hard to say that consistent throughout the entire year.
It's hard to score 30 points against the best.
Isn't it like 72 games now or something? It's almost physically
impossible. I mean, I know is it still 72? Because it was 82. Because
it was 82.
I think they changed it for COVID year, but just. I guess I'm wrong. He hasn't had that bad of a stretch. He had 12 points last night, and I guess that really irritated me. But he had 27 and 28 a few nights before. But the games before then, he had 14, 9,
it's not like he's
16.
Shooting the 3 efficient as he is.
And then the field goal, the 3-point percentages. This is the only reason I brought this up because Steph Curry it's not called a triple crown in basketball, but he was 50, 40, 90, which is the most difficult thing to do. But he's had a shooting stretch of 3-point shots of... Oh, wow. Yeah, just give it to me out of order. That's fun. But but of 30%, 12%, 10%, 15%. That's not good. The Dallas game, he scrapped the 3-pointers and started going layups. He started just hezzying and getting his butt...
Jeez.
I know there's way more to talk, but I don't want to bore you with my Warriors talk, but they are the hottest team in the league, and they've lost 3 straight, and I'm confused what's wrong, so...
Yeah, Hornets play tonight. I've definitely...
Have you been actually following them?
I follow...
football's hard. Between football and school and break, it's really hard.
I'm sorry, right now, it's basketball's very below the list right now.
We're talking about this right now just
we love watching it. It's just
that's why That's the only reason I brought it up. We already talked about we're going to do more next week, but it's being brought up because we love basketball.
Yeah.
And because we're
it's just like, shit, dude. Like, I'm not going to go watch Detroit Pistons and Raptors play tonight.
There are fun games though. There's between RJ Barrett banking off the glass after Jason Tatum ties the game up.
Like I love seeing that's a really close game. There's like a minute left.
That's the type of basketball fan I am right now though.
Yeah.
Sitting down for an hour and a half.
All-Star game, I feel like games then mean a little bit more.
Yeah, it's also our first week of college, so we're busy hanging out with friends. Silas had a little bit of a virus mishap. Let's not get blocked on Spotify.
Nope.
But we're not going to say the C word.
Oh shit. I'm alive, guys.
He's healthy.
Yeah, I'm healthy. I'm immunized.
Yeah. Pull Aaron Rodgers.
I love it. But I mean, I'll say stuff about Blazers. Damian. It's still that abdominal thing. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, I remember in Japan, he just wasn't shooting the ball right.
There was talk about
and
that.
I was like, and then finally after they won, he finally came out and was like, yeah, I have an ab thing. I don't know if I think he might have gotten surgery, but I don't think it healed all the way. And even when he had that shooting slump, people were talking about it's the ball, but I kept thinking, man, he had that ab thing and he had a short off season.
It's one of the shortest off. Yeah. The two things I do want to bring up though, you're a Charlotte fan, so
yeah,
they're a 7th seed right now. Two things. I think the Bulls. I think that as a basketball fan, I think with all the trades and everything, I'm not personally shocked that they're this good. I'm shocked that they're the number 1 team in the East.
Yeah.
The Miami Heat too. I don't know why. I've always been a Jimmy Butler doubter. I'm not a hater.
He's always been such a consistent 20-point.
But it's never more than 20. And that's why I never thought you could build a team around him. But with Bam Adebayo returning from that hand surgery, dude, and they're the 2 seed.
And Tyler Heroes might be an all-star.
Yeah, and Kyle Lowry's playing good. And
Duncan Robinson's
playing. I mean, it's people forget that this team lost that they made it to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, I don't like him. I don't mean I don't respect him. He's always been, he's shooting 50% from the field.
Yeah.
That's higher than I think that might be the highest in the league. Obviously, if we give a shot minimum, because there's obviously some guys that don't play a whole lot, but really, really happy with those dudes. And then, I don't know, the Pistons going 7 for, 35, 25? 7 for 9 for 31. Orlando 7 for 35. NBA's so funny how they're so weak at the bottom. You put Oklahoma, Houston, New Orleans, Detroit, and Orlando, and you make them play the top 5 teams 50 times each, I think you're literally seeing single-digit wins from every one of them. The skill gap in football is smaller, where you're seeing the Jets, who won 4 games, compared with the Bills. Yes. Where it's
premier people.
But I think that's a decent example of those, Jets-Bills.
The
Jets are not good, and they hung around, but it's the skill gap, and it's why my favorite take is when people go, Alabama or Georgia could beat an NFL team. They could beat the Jags. It literally makes me this. I'm sure one of you said that. I was listening. Yeah. There's nothing that makes me cringe and realize that someone knows nothing about football when someone says to play that card. But not a whole lot of stories though. We're getting real close to also.
Hawks traded with the Knicks. Cam Reddish and 2nd round pick for Kevin Knox and a 1st round pick.
I like that, and I'm excited to see how Knox plays, but I'm more excited to see Reddish because
he's back with Duke.
Yeah, he's back with Duke.
And now that
the Duke boys.
He just stirred up Zion Williamson. He has total hard-on for New York.
Yeah.
And dude, I'm sorry.
I'm not even willing to say he's a top-tier player though. If after 1 year, and he was very, very good. Very, very good when he was playing in the last year, but he's a big dude who seems to have an eating problem or needs a nutrition, and it's not me being disrespectful.
And it has to fall back on Pelicans.
It does. That's why I'm saying
you're not preparing this guy.
And him not having a nutritionist, I'm not saying go call your local New Orleans, Louisiana nutritionist. No. I'm hey guys, our small, we're not super small, but I have a small football program and a smaller coaching staff. Yeah. We have a nutritionist. These players get
I don't think he should be a power forward. I seriously look at him and I think he needs to be a small forward.
Yeah, I think he needs to thin out and be a small. Is this true? They have him at. Google has him at 317 pounds. No. That has to be edited. That's on some.
Yeah. No, wait. That's fake. That's got to be fake, dude.
If so, dude, please don't play left tackle.
He came in the league 252, 260, I swear. Dude, no way.
Dude, Shaq weighs 324.
That's fake, bro.
No, it's not. This NBC Sports article said that he weighed as high as 330 pounds. Do you guys understand that? Like, going from 250 to 330 is like literally like having a tight end who comes back and is now your starting center.
And he's only 6'6", dude. Like,
that's the problem.
And he jumps through the roof. It's gonna hurt his knees.
It's gonna hurt his knees. It's gonna shorten his career. But guess what? It's also like it's bad. And like you're saying, he can jump, but you can't transition to him to be a big center. No. The transition is to go skinnier and up a position, not down and play center.
No, I think small forward is perfect for him.
Yeah.
Like, he's so lengthy as well.
Yeah.
And he needs to keep that quickness, I feel like.
Yeah,
if he's
really
getting
quick.
Yeah.
And then I don't know how much more we're going to talk basketball, but just real quick, I don't know obviously if anyone sent one of us a text, and most of you obviously knows, but I don't know how interested everyone is in the UFC, but there's a pay-per-view card next Saturday. Francis Ngannou, Ciryl Gane, arguably the biggest heavyweight fight in the history of UFC. So I know you're not the biggest fan. I'm forcing you to come over here, and like we might have to have dual screen because UFC's short. I mean, not short, but the main ones there's 3 that we're gonna like. I'm actually gonna have you watch, but I mean, it's quite honestly the biggest fight ever. Ciryl Gane is a jiu-jitsu specialist, wrestling, but has everything. And Francis Ngannou has the strongest punch recorded in the history of mankind, and his punch is, God, what is it? There's never been someone in the history of the world that's punched as hard as Francis Ngannou.
I love how Marcus is explaining this to me as a 5-year-old.
Well, I love it. There are people that don't
like,
understand anything, and like I'm mainly for them because I know you're going to understand it more. But it's the equivalent of dropping a 12-pound sledgehammer overhead from a 6'2" man dropped on the ground. That is the equivalent of his right hook.
Dude. What?
So, like, seriously going like that and dropping it at full force of a 6'2", 220 man. That's what it's described as. But is the strongest unit, measured at 122,000 units, 22,000 units higher than anyone ever recorded before. So, brain damage, and Ciryl Gane is 10-0. And I don't know if you're a big boxing fan. You know who Tyson Fury is? It's like kind of the only boxing.
Yeah.
Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, kind of the only. I mean, I know like Javante did. I know a bunch more boxers, but this is his last fight. If he wins, he essentially has to fight again because of his contract. He can't just leave he could leave, but then he's going to go fight Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is the heavyweight champion of the world. Francis Ngannou is the heavyweight champion of the world for UFC, but Francis doesn't wrestle. I mean, he's the only person that almost weighs, Derek Lewis, but Derek Lewis is a little more round. He's 6'4". The maximum heavyweight is 255. He typically weighs in at 254 and a half. I mean, he pushes the limit. So, and then also a former cowboy. I'm blanking on his name, but God, Greg Hardy fights on the main card too.
Really? Wait, what?
I watched him fight in Houston. He got knocked out cold when I watched him. You didn't know that? He's 7-4 in the best fighting division in the world. So he's getting better, and it's honestly he's not a great person, and we don't talk about things like that. But
yeah.
Can we just say one thing? The dude he's fighting, Greg Hardy, has 11 fights. He fought. It's called the Damian White Contender Series. It's where a bunch of amateur fighters come and get signed. Sean O'Malley, who's like rainbow hair guy, you know.
Yeah.
So the guy he's fighting is 59, and yes, you heard that, 59, not age, 59 wins, 16-1. I don't even know how to say his first name. Like I would if someone like Chael's on here to tell me, but it's like Alakesi Olynyk, but Olynyk is like what I know him by. This dude like literally used to just fight overseas and just would just fight like every other week. Like he would knock a dude out and think, all right, I'm not even gonna watch like film or train, just like schedule my next one. So compared to Greg Hardy's 11,
dude,
I think that the skill gap might get invested. But we're gonna touch that more. It's more that I got excited and
I'm learning more about this.
Between basketball and UFC, this isn't ending, dog.
No,
so, like
there's more things to talk about.
Even like because we only did a half-hour football today and half-hour basketball and UFC. So I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Just anything else? I'm trying to think about NBA. Blazers maybe do a trade, dude. But no, here's the thing about the Blazers. He's injured, Lillard's injured, Steve is injured, and now at the end of the year they're like, well, no one was healthy, man.
Do you like tank for Paulo?
I don't think we have a first round pick, dude.
Are you serious? For why?
Because we traded 2 first round picks for Robert Covington.
Are you serious?
piece of shit
I don't know,
GM.
I know that basketball is so different because training a first round in football is like, oh.
It's so valuable.
But basketball, with having 11 guys on a roster,
It's
it's like, I mean, Paul George was traded for 6 first round picks.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
there's not a player in the NFL that its franchise is giving up a first round pick until 2029.
Yeah,
but
Robert.
Paulo Banchero, I think is how you say his last name, is him or Chet Holmgren. Chet's a little bit of a coin flip, in my opinion, of how he's going to translate at 7'1". And he's real skinny. Paulo is 6'10". He went to O'Day High School, right out in Seattle, Washington, a private high school.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to be the number 1 pick. I watched him play in high school. He's an amazing basketball player. Just, like, I don't even know how to say it other than that. Like, he will be the number 1 pick. That's why I was like, you guys could tank for that number 1. And I've been saying this for years, and I'm a Warriors fan, and there's no reason other than I went to a Warriors-Blazers game when I was young, and never looked back. And then we started winning rings, so I get a lot of shit talk from being a Warriors fan, but Silas doesn't care. But
I mean, when I was younger,
you're from Oregon.
Yeah,
like, I don't have a team.
When I was younger, I used to be like, fuck Golden State, they keep winning. But like as I got older and I looked more on the management side, I was like, dude, they drafted these players and they like developed.
They didn't play the Lakers route. They didn't play. No. They drafted Steph. They drafted. Oh, yeah. The only thing that I can agree with being upset with is Kevin Durant, and to that I say super team. It's LeBron's fault. Like, if LeBron doesn't build super teams, KD doesn't do that. And as a non-Warriors fan, like, I would love to hear people's opinions, like a non-biased opinion on how fun it was. I mean, a lot of people hated it, but how fun it was as a non-basketball fan to watch arguably the 3 best players all play point, small, and shooting guard.
We do have this draft there.
Start losing games because I've been saying my dad's I don't even know if I'd say my dad's a Blazers fan, but that's the team he follows. You guys are a small forward away and a healthy 2023 from being like a 3 seed in the West, and like possibly giving the West a run for their money, dude.
Who's a good center? Who's a good young center right now?
What do you mean in the league?
Like in college.
Chet Holmgren up in Gonzaga, 20 minutes away from us. He's 7'1", shoots the 3-pointer, blocks.
Watch him next month.
Yeah. Oh, you had nothing?
Yeah.
How'd you get? They do. You guys don't know, but it's harder to get a ticket to here than it is to like get
Buddy
into my
has
house.
season tickets.
Oh my God! Tell him if you ever, I'd pay some pretty penny to go watch him. We'll talk about it. Yeah. But I would say between Paulo Banchero, and he's the one. I don't know if you even know who he was before today, but number 5 on Duke, projected number 1 pick.
Yeah,
like,
and he has the cramps.
He has the cramps, so that's the only thing I want to bring up. And before we'll wrap this up, because I know we're just kind of rambling, but I love it. And then there's Chet. But they're 6'10" and 7'1", but he gained 40 pounds of muscle in an off season and a half. Chet that is his biggest downside, is when you're playing against like a Joel Embiid and a Joker who are just gonna back you up and move you around. It's hard, but Paul Banchero he was losing up to 7 pounds, and you heard that 7 pounds of sweat a game, and he's
unhealthy,
very very unhealthy, and they're like giving him those.
Hydration.
Yeah, these like hydration drinks and pills, and he's like taking bath towels at timeouts. Yeah, and he's drying like. Basically, as if you were to get out of the shower, is what and then he goes back in, and a minute later, they're wiping the floor more because it's really, really, it's not even like, it's a cool story, but it's more scary and could really alter his career. It's health. Yeah. It's like, dude, you could die of dehydration. I don't want to say that, but like, it could be bad. And then, I don't know how high, there's also that kid, Jabari Smith at Auburn, who's I don't know how high, you know what, I'm gonna, before I speak, I'm gonna look more into it, but the Mobley twins, Evan and his other brother, Evan's the older one who's the number 1 pick, Cav. Yeah. And his brother is still at USC, so they were. I don't know if you watched them in March Madness, but I don't know if he's not going to be a top pick, maybe, but they're 7'1" and 6'10" brothers who played together since high school.
Trade CJ and Nurkic for like a shooting guard, like
you're not a CJ fan?
Dude,
if you guys would throw CJ and Nurkic, like, you would have to get such a haul back because I don't know. I am a Nurkic fan.
Because
he just sucks saying no.
You gotta watch him play. Like, you gotta see him when he first came into league,
pre-injury,
and then after injury, it's like
it's day and night. It's
completely different person.
It's sad.
It's sad, but it's hard to watch.
Yeah,
especially how much money we're paying him. But we did have to bring this up. The Lakers. Kings is iconic. If you didn't hear this, during the game, whenever Westbrook would miss, they would put in Cold as Ice song. And it was, I like, for like 3 years now, I've been following the Kings Instagram page.
How come?
Because they're so funny.
Really?
They know they suck.
Who's? Oh, really?
And
they
whenever
just, like,
they
try
win,
to make
they
it fun.
Yeah, they're just a meme.
Who's the? Is it Charlotte that has the fun announcers?
Yeah.
Because that's another one where I'm like, dude, every NFL every NFL and NBA president who doesn't have announcers and a great social media program is just so silly.
Yeah,
That's all I have to say. So
Kings,
silly.
I've been following them for 3 years just because they're so funny.
And sorry to interrupt you, but answer my question. Isaiah Mobley, I know you guys don't care, but his projected top 10 pick. I was just wondering because you don't see brothers usually go in the league like that.
Yeah, and then there's also talks like Lakers were literally trying to trade Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, I heard that, and you know what that does though, and I want to see where your take on this is. That, like, you have to unfall in love with a franchise. Like, if you have a good relationship with a general manager and you hear that you were this close to being traded, because you possibly...
And you know who it was.
Yeah. So...
Also, it's so funny, I'm always, like, I go on TikTok and I always see, like, I'm always on the sports one and the super
Same.
hot take thing, and it's some, it's like, hot take, Andrew Wiggins is better than having a better season than LeBron James. And I just turned it off. And I'm not even gonna get mad because it's literally like a 13-year-old Golden State fan.
It just blows up because it's
like,
TikTok.
Yeah, it's like
I do want to talk about Andrew Wiggins though. Like
he's good.
I have notes for not notes, but I have 3 topics I'm not even bringing up. But Andrew Wiggins went from being considered one of the worst number 1 picks in a decade, a role player at best.
Yeah.
There was talk about him being the 6th man on a Warriors team to like. Averaging, I think, 20 a game right now, shooting the 3-ball at a career high, playing defense, which is what the Warriors like. I love Steph. Steph plays defense with his hands behind his back. Like,
yeah, same with Lillard.
Yeah, there's no
so much offense.
Luka too. Luka's. I don't understand Luka because he's 6'6".
He's giant.
There's no reason that Luka can't put his hands out and up.
He's a year-old player, dude.
But it's very, very impressive to literally go from they traded like D'Angelo Russell. Like, remember
Yeah. But yeah, it was just like if you've seen like the past couple stats of just LeBron James, it's literally the past 7 games. It's either 27 points in like 41.
I think that team wins like 9 games without LeBron. I think if it's Anthony Davis, like it's funny because AD and Russell Westbrook make All-Star teams every year, like make first, second, or third All-NBA teams every year. Russell Westbrook and Anthony Davis without LeBron-less team, they're probably the worst team in the NBA.
It'd be so dysfunctional. It would be so dysfunctional.
So I guess he had good seasons in Minnesota, but that was because he was the best player on that team. And I guess I have to eat my words a little bit because he's not career high, but he went from 18-17, he had a 23-point per game season in his 3rd year, but to averaging 18 a game and then shooting a career high 42% from 3 and a career high 49.5% from the field. That's what's impressive. It's the efficiency of
the efficiency.
He's not bricking. He's not. I mean, he's
taking smarter shots.
He's taking smarter shots, and then I'm a big fan of Andrew Wiggins, and
hopefully I don't think Lakers. They're not making the playoff. I mean, I think they're gonna make the playoffs.
They'll make the play-in game, and then they'll win it, and then they'll lose first round.
Yeah, but I think this is the end of LeBron getting a ring.
Yep. Well. Thank you.
That's a good way to.
That was a good dude, the first episode I said that I thought LeBron's the 3rd best player of all time. It goes MJ, Steph, LeBron, and you were like, "Oh God." You're like, "Who is this kid?"
Oh shit.
But
yeah,
I'm excited and a little short for football wise, a half hour, but there's no reason to milk it. Like it's playoffs, games get important.
Yeah, and we'll talk way more about.
Oh, it's good. You're having a 2-hour episode coming Tuesday.
Yeah.
Like after Monday Night Football, we'll record, and Tuesday morning expect the longest episode of all time.
Yeah.
We're going to have notes and previewing next week even for real quick because I love it when I love playoff football.
Yeah. Playoff, it is the time. It is.
You don't miss it. Like I'm not going to the store. I'm not like
no.
Yeah, but
next episode will be up Tuesday morning and
if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, I encourage you to check out the YouTube channel if you want to see it. If you don't, listen in your car or whatever. But
officially up, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends.
It'll come up on top of your post or on your YouTube every time if you subscribe. So I'd appreciate it a lot.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching, listening, and have a great day.